does not agree to stop the war after your meeting on Friday?
Yes, they will. Yeah.
What will the consequences
There will be
be?
consequences.
Sanctions, tariffs?
There will be, I don't have to say, there will be very severe consequences, yes.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has warned that Russian President Vladimir Putin is bluffing about ending the war in Ukraine. Speaking from Berlin alongside German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, Zelensky stressed that no talks about Ukraine should exclude Kyiv. We must prepare a trilateral format for the conversation. There must be a ceasefire, reliable security guarantees, and sanctions pressure if Russia refuses. Russia cannot have a veto over Ukraine's European and NATO perspective. Zelensky added that the territorial integrity of Ukraine must ultimately be decided by the leaders themselves, reaffirming Kyiv's central role in negotiations.
Rewrite it. Please provide the base underscore text in English or specify the foreign language so I can proceed with the rewrite.
I told the President of the United States of America and all our European colleagues, Putin is bluffing. He is trying to put pressure on all fronts of the Ukrainian front before the meeting in Alaska. Russia is trying to make it look like they are capable of occupying all of Ukraine. Of course, that's what they want.
Thank you. Olga.
We need to prepare a trilateral format for the talks. There must be a ceasefire, that's number one. There must be truly reliable security guarantees. Today, by the way, President Trump spoke in support of this and about America's readiness to participate. Also among the agreed principles, Russia cannot have veto power over Ukraine's European and NATO prospects. And peace negotiations should be combined with appropriate pressure on Russia. Sanctions should be strengthened if Russia does not agree to a ceasefire in Alaska.
Tanischuk, Ukrainian State News Agency. Questions for Mr. Zelensky.
Regarding our principles, regarding our territorial integrity. In the end, it's all decided at the leadership level. It is impossible to solve this without Ukraine. And, by the way, everyone supports this too.
Foreign language.
I told my colleagues, both the President of the United States and our European friends, that Putin definitely does not want peace. He wants to occupy our country, and we all truly understand this. Putin won't be able to fool anyone. We need continued pressure for the sake of peace. Not just American, but also European sanctions.
Just yesterday, during your conversation with Ukrainian journalists, you said that.
We talked about the meeting in Alaska. We hope that the main topic at the meeting will be a ceasefire, an immediate ceasefire. The President of the United States of America has spoken about this repeatedly. He suggested to me that after the meeting in Alaska, we would have contact and we would discuss all the results, if there are any. And we will determine our next mutual steps.
Foreign language.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much for everything. Your kindness and support are deeply appreciated, and I am truly grateful for all that you have done.
U.S. President Donald Trump warned that Putin could face very severe consequences if he fails to agree to a ceasefire at the Alaska summit on Friday. If the first one goes okay, we'll have a quick second one between President Putin, President Zelensky, and me, if they'd like to have me there.
We had a very good call. He was on the call. President Zelensky was on the call. I would rate it a 10, very, very friendly. I know the leaders because I was at NATO, as you know. I took it from 2% to 5%, 2% that wasn't paid, 5% that is paid, which is trillions of dollars in defense capability. No, it was always going to be, I was going to meet with President Putin, and then after that, I'm going to call the leaders and President Zelensky. I'm going to call President Zelensky, and then I'll call, probably in that order, the leaders. There's a very good chance that we're going to have a second meeting, which will be more productive than the first, because the first is I'm going to find out where we are and what we're doing. Again, this is Biden's war. This isn't my war. He got us into this thing. And it should have never happened. This war would have never happened if I were president. But it is what it is, and I'm here to fix it. And I'm here to stop 6,000, 7,000 people last week. 7,213 people last week were killed, mostly soldiers. But missiles being lobbed into towns don't exactly help either. But mostly soldiers, and Ukrainian and Russian. They're not American soldiers, but if we can save a lot of lives, it would be a great thing. I've stopped 5 wars in the last 6 months. And on top of that, we wiped out the nuclear capability of Iran, obliterated it. It's turned out to be a correct word, by the way, because some of the press said, well, maybe it wasn't obliteration. It was obliteration. And we're going to meet with, I would say, the second meeting. If the first one goes okay, we'll have a quick second one. I would like to do it almost immediately. And we'll have a quick second meeting between President Putin and President Zelensky and myself, if they'd like to have me there. And that would be a meeting where maybe it could be absolutely work. But the first meeting will not work that out. Certain great things can be gained in the first. It's going to be a very important meeting. But it's setting the table for the second meeting. I think the second meeting, if the second meeting takes place. Now, there may be no second meeting, because if I feel that it's not appropriate to have it because I didn't get the answers that we have to have, then we're not going to have a second meeting.
Mr. President, will Russia face any consequences if Vladimir Putin does not agree to stop the war after your meeting on Friday?
Yes, they will. Yeah.
What will the consequences
There will be
be?
consequences.
Sanctions, tariffs?
There will be, I don't have to say, there will be very severe consequences, yes.
With tensions rising, world leaders are pushing for a meaningful dialogue, making the Alaska summit a critical test of whether diplomacy can halt months of conflict in Ukraine.